In Josie. Omnisport Breakfast with MKT and Kevin McCallum.
Welcome to it, sports fans. It is the Champions League, this new format. Is it rubbish now? Is it better now? Man City are choking. Pep's harming himself. Who knows what's going on? We'll discuss all of that and discuss what you think about that. Jamie Carragher has been scathing of Mo Salah. He's called him selfish. Jamie Carragher, legend of Liverpool, calls out Mo Salah. Unbelievable stuff. We'll discuss all of that. Proteas, cricket, 2-match series coming up, starts today. Should anybody care? Does it mean anything within the test realm? We'll unpack all of that as well. It's not just me, it's Kevin McCallum. Kev, what's going on?
Cricket. I love cricket season. It's almost like you've come out from the darker winter into the light of summer. And the Wonder is one of the great places to be. Unfortunately, we're not playing test cricket there this season. We're playing in Durban and in PE. And as HD Ackerman said yesterday on the show, he doesn't understand. Why are we playing in pitches that are friendly towards the attributes and the experience of Sri Lanka? Why aren't we playing at the Wonders? Why are we putting it up their noses?
Bloody makes no sense because they beat us there 2019, remember? Yeah, they won the series.
They've actually got a very, very good record in South Africa. It's very much a happy hunting ground for them.
They are the only Asian team to win a series in South Africa.
That's right.
Yeah, in India, they are the only. 2-0, they beat us.
Yeah, and they've always had a decent team thereabouts. They sort of drift in and out depending on who's in form and how much sling Malinga's got left.
Well, do you remember last time it was bloody Dilhara Fernando was the problem? Dilhara Fernando. I think he took like 8 wickets or something. I remember he had that one innings. He took like 8 wickets. I can't remember what it was. Bloody Dilhara Fernando. All right, well, that's the bloody cricket that we just went into there. That's what's going on. That's how much we love Test cricket. So it's back in South Africa, or is it? We'll discuss that in a bit. Let's start off in the Champions League. I mean, we got to start with Man City. Pep harming himself, or as he joked as he left the press conference. Man City were 3-0 up last night. They drew 3-3. In the 75th minute, they were 3-0 up, by the way. I want to be clear.
Right, I've got some very good shithousery for you. This is the Feyenoord fans in the away end, just near towards the end of the game as the City fans started leaving.
Oh, that's great.
And they're also saying you'll never walk alone.
Oh, that's so funny.
Just awesome. But I mean, 15 minutes to go. How do you blow a lead like that? Is it just too much confidence, overconfidence, no self-awareness? Or are those tired old legs?
They had a proper... I mean, yesterday was a proper meltdown. I'm not talking like, you know, sometimes we're quite glib about it. That was a proper meltdown. I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. I mean, I want to be honest, it's a little bit late for me during the week to watch it. Watching the highlights just... What are we doing? What's happened to the great Man City dynasty? That's one of the results of one of the greatest shocks, I think, maybe in Champions League history.
Without a doubt. As somebody wrote, at least they didn't lose. So there's always that. But Pep Guardiola's now called him fragile, and he's worried about Monday's game at Anfield. And he's going to the cauldron of Anfield, where Liverpool are on a high, not probably out of second or third or fourth gear. So they're not flying, but they're playing winning football. And if City come there, they're going to find a clinical, ruthless team. And if they show any fragility, Liverpool will annihilate them.
Is Man City Liverpool on Monday night?
It's Sunday, is it?
Oh, okay, thank God. If they put
Sunday
that on
6:30. Sunday 6:30.
If they were to put that on a Monday night, I would feel sick.
Yeah, no, it'd be daft.
It would be bloody.
It basically should be Saturday's Premier game, but it's not. For some reason, I mean, Sunday games just get on my nerves.
It is a bit annoying. Like, I'd like to get to bed. Like I want to prepare for the week, and it's like 7:30 now. I haven't really cooked. Yeah. They really do need to think about the consumer a bit more.
Can you imagine all those Liverpool fans around the world staggering into work, bleary-eyed, and either celebrating or consoling themselves and trying to hide away from anybody wearing blue
but that is a good point. Like, if you're going to have big games, and I'm sorry, the big 6 clubs, I'm not into the Cinderella story of the little guy. The big 6 clubs should play on Saturdays because within the football sphere, they control the viewing. And as you say, most people support Arsenal, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham. You know, these big 6 clubs should play on Saturdays where possible. Now, I mean, obviously with scheduling, you can't have Everton and Liverpool playing the same day. Just bump Everton to Sunday.
Yeah. Logistically, it's okay in terms of fans. So Manchester's just up the road, and Liverpool's obviously they're very close to each other. But still it's a 4 p.m. game in England. It's still fairly late, so they'll finish at 6. Manchester United fans get home by 7. It's still a fairly long day. out for everybody. But for me, you wouldn't watch nights. It finishes at 8.
Plus,
And,
we want to watch the recap.
Yeah.
Like I don't just go to bed. I want to watch the recap. I want to watch 4 recaps before I go to bed, like different angles on. Anyway, Champions League last night, Slovan Bratislava, cracking game there. AC Milan beating them 3-2. Atletico Madrid 6-0. Yeah.
Good. I'm glad Diego Simone's finally got his groove back on. It looked like he was in a bit of trouble. He's been there, for 9, 10, 12 years, and he was looking a bit tired and a bit vulnerable, but he seems to find his groove again.
They are back in the mix. 6-0 those. My God. My bloody word. That is quite something. 3-0 Barcelona over Brest. Bayer Leverkusen smashing Red Bull Salzburg 5-0 as well. Munchen beat PSG 1-0. Inter Milan 1-0 over RB Leipzig. And then, of course, Man City 3-3 against Feyenoord. Sporting lost 5-1 against Arsenal. Martin Odegaard was unreal.
Unbelievable again, Saka and him just working, pulling the strings. As I said yesterday, and I've said it again and again, they're two players you want to watch playing together because there's a telepathic communication and just a sense of timing and a sense of space awareness. And that's, for me, the most important thing in football. Never mind your pace, which is great, it's an asset, but your sense of space, to be able to find that space to give you an extra second to get away from someone or to set up a pass. And that's what Odegaard's got. He operates in a different time zone.
He really does.
I think he actually wakes up and has to put his clock forward before a game because he's actually got his own personal daylight savings time.
It really does feel like he's playing that. In Spanish football, they have a great term for it, la pausa. It's like the pause. It means David Silva, that Martin Odegaard type of player who can just put their foot on the ball. Xavi had that. They play in their own different time zone. Atalanta beat Young Boys 6-1. They are flying, by the way. Di Cattelere, no, he didn't. But Di Cattelere had like 4 assists and 2 goals. He's also. They have a team, by the way. You do not want to meet those guys on their night if they are purring. It's a problem. Gasperini has them absolutely flying. Tonight, Real Madrid play Liverpool at Anfield in a blockbuster clash. A match that should be one for the ages. To replay of the 2022 final. Remember the WWE move by Sergio Ramos on Mo Salah dislocating his shoulder or whatever happened there. Here's my thing. Everyone's loving the new Champions League format. What do you think of it? Like PSG played Bayern Munich last night.
It's great in terms of those sort of key games, those big matches. But for me, the problem is that there's going to be a lot of dead rubbers pretty soon. So as soon as like the major teams are qualifying for the top 8 for the next round, they're going to take the foot off the gas. And then there's going to be dead rubbers. So there's going to be a bunch of guys playing for nothing. It's going to be like relegation matches at the end. It doesn't carry the sort of knockout weight that you would hope this time of the season.
Here's my thing as well: is PSG played Bayern Munich last night, and I didn't care. It's just exactly. Like there was a time where I'd go, PSG Bayern Munich.
I had to check that this morning because they had a South Korean score, and actually I didn't even
Kim
know
Min Jae. But that's what I'm saying is. What they were trying to do is it's having the opposite effect of, I'm about as hardcore football fan as you'll find. And if I'm going PSG Bayern Munich, I'll wait for the quarterfinals. They've got a problem now. Yeah. They have a real problem because I'm just a normal hardcore football fan. There's no way I'm the only person going, oh, well, it doesn't really matter. I can catch the highlights. That's not what the sponsors want to hear. That's how I'm feeling about it, where there's no urgency to it because it's a league game. What does it really mean? And there's so many games. If the top 24 qualify, what does this really matter?
Yeah, that's like in a pool of 4. There's tension all the time. There's home and away times. Here we go. Okay, wait, we've got another 5 games to catch up. And the fact that there's almost like this absolute leeway, there comes a time when you can dilute a project and a product. And I think they've done that with this. I think by this league system has almost diluted the Champions League for a little bit. There's no anticipation of like this is a must-win game or this is a must-not-lose game, this is a must-draw game. Now the games are just, okay, wait, there's another one. We still got another chance. I mean, Arsenal should be hosed and sunk, but they have still got a chance of going through to the next round.
07 88 77 7716. Your thoughts on the new Champions League format? Some say they love it. If you're like me, I don't know so much. All right, let's move to Liverpool. Jamie Carragher from Liverpool. He says Mo Salah is being selfish after Salah's now viral interview where he declared himself more out than in. Carragher declared that the club is bigger than Salah and they will move on without him. If he is correct, and Salah does leave. Do Liverpool have to replace him, or do they have the personnel in-house already here, Kev? I know we kind of touched on it on Monday, I think it was. Let's say he does leave. Do you feel Gakpo, Diaz, you've got Harvey Elliott, you can come into that sort of wide role. Do you think Liverpool have the firepower in-house, or would you have to go and find somebody, an Osimhen or someone to get you goals?
Osimhen would be great, but do you want to panic buy? And that's not Liverpool way. Not a way at all. Not FSG don't operate like that. They bought when they initially bought Mo Salah from Roma. John Henry was in negotiation with the American owner of Roma as it was then. And when he said, I want £36 million from him, he balked at that. And then 2 years later, he could have sold it for £100 million. But at 32, he's 32 years young. He's not 32 years old. Every season he comes back in a better shape. I would throw money at him. He's on £350,000 a week. He's the highest paid player in Liverpool with reason, because he is the best player in Liverpool at the moment. He's probably in the top 3, according to Jamie Carragher. Jamie Carragher's now backtracked, by the way. And he said, I didn't quite say that. You'd misquoted me, but said, what I'm trying to say is, and then in 2010, he forgets that he was, he actually quoted The Guardian saying, I would have no difficulty in leaving Liverpool. Because the new owners came in, I think it was Hicks and Gillett came in. Gillett and said, no, I'm okay. They don't want to give me a contract. They won't give me a contract. That's fine. But as Arne Slot says about Mo Salah, everyone says he's more out than in, but he's more in my squads than out my squads. So, and he's playing better than ever.
Well, the one thing we know about John W. Henry is he's not going to be bullied by Mo Salah. He's shown that he moved on from Steven Gerrard. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a huge fuss. Just sell him to LA Galaxy. He's having none of it. So they have a rule, even at the Boston Red Sox, once you go above 30, they are not willing to negotiate more than 1 year. So basically, their format is, if you're above 30, and this I think is the problem with Van Dijk as well, we give you 1 year rolling contract. Do you want it or not? And it's difficult for Liverpool fans to accept. They are not moving. Mo Salah can get 100 goals a season. The best way to tell the future is to look at the past. John W. Henry has shown, I do not care who you are. The analytics, and they're big on the money ball thing, right? Yeah. The analytics show him this. Mo Salah, I understand he's a hero. He's about to meet his matcher because John W. Henry does not play around. He says, I've got like $6 billion. Who the hell are you? I could shave your hair and sell it somewhere else.
At the age of 32, I'd give him another 2-year contract. You would, just to be safe, and then you put KPIs into those contracts, saying, listen, this is what we want to do. Can you guarantee it?
You're a betting man. As we know, Kev's 5 bets, by the way, were one of probably the number one leading segment of the show. Actually, not probably, definitely everyone's favorite. If you're a betting man, would you say Henry will fold?
Yeah.
You think so?
I think so. There's a little bit, it's not just the player power, it's the weight of numbers. And if John Henry's a number cruncher, like we say, and he is, then he's going to look at the numbers of Mo Farah this season thus far and go, well, this is actually worth it. How much money has he brought us in with these scores, with these assists, with these match-winning moments? And that's the money.
If you're a Liverpool fan, let us know your thoughts. Who would you replace Mo Salah with? I guess that's the interesting one because it could go the other way, and that is a thing that you don't want to be even considering as a Liverpool fan. Jamie Carragher says he's selfish. My word. What do you think of that? Jamie Carragher from Liverpool, friends with Steven Gerrard. That's how they sound. That's how they sound up there. All right. In 60 seconds, what we'll do is we'll talk about the Proteas because they're playing a little game called cricket. They're playing the Kritsky today. Should anyone care? 2-match series. I mean, should we even be calling it a series? The Proteas need to hear this. You know what they need to hear, Kev?
Listen live and on demand.
Welcome to Omnisport.